Okay, good afternoon all. Hope everyone is well. Karina, good morning to you. Yes, long weekend. So, what are we looking at here? Okay, there's this big bar here was very tempting. We got two clear legs up, but it's continued sideways, but I'm guessing it's probably going to go down, but it's a bit hard to say at the moment. So there is a lower high there. It's a little bit choppy here, so it kind of might give you the impression it's going low, and it may go up. What do I think? That bar down there on the left side I think is vulnerable, but you just don't know here. It just looks a little bit unpredictable. So I'm unsure. If we can get down below that bar there, there's a second entry long there, and stop that out, I think this is probably going to come down and test these lows. We're not far off actually, but this could just turn quickly. So let's see if we can get a failure here. Trouble is, if my stop's here, it's right in the middle of this. So let's see. Let's have a look. What are people thinking? Okay, so there's a bullish bar there. Let's see if this triggers and gives us a possible failure. Yeah, so some people think there's a channel there with a possible overshoot. I actually like that. It's fitting kind of tight, but then we've had a break in a new low already. But that move like that on the left side is the type of trade that usually works. There's a big bearish bar there. I still like that bearish bar. So my guess is that is going to hold. So I think it's got more chance of coming down. How far, I don't know, but I would have said if we can get below that bar there, because there's a second entry long there, then I think this thing's got a good chance of coming down. But it's stacking up a bit now, so it's hard to say. But after this move down, you know, being generally over bullish, there may be buyers propping up price here. So it may not. If there's enough buyers there, it'll push up. If it gets above there, it's game over, I think. But I'm still optimistic that it's going to break this area here. That's the key for me. I believe it'll break that area, because if this is going to push up, then I'd like to see it clear some of this liquidity, including that. If it's going to come down, obviously, then that'll go there. So I think that bar there is still vulnerable, but I'm not confident enough to trade it. So I picked up 5 evaluations yesterday. I passed 1 yesterday, which I've got now, and I passed another one this morning. So I'll be up to 5 Apex accounts, PA accounts after today, and 5 Traderify accounts. So that's kind of what I wanted. What I'm going to try and do is pick up 5 take profit trader next if I can. I like the idea of diversifying just in case. This is coming down for me now. Leg and a leg. It needs to get below this for me. But if you look on this chart, bounce, bounce, bounce. If you get a bullish bar, it may go up. It's hard to say, but yeah, long weekend. So we're nearly there. We're not far off here. I'm not sure what holiday it is, actually. I usually know what's coming up. I usually have a printout from the CME, and I usually have it laminated somewhere, but what I've done with it, we've had a new desk this year and moved a few bits and pieces, so I'm not sure where it's gone to. So we're very close to this bar here. This is where I believe it's going to get below, but 2 pushes up, 2 attempts to push lower. If it breaks below there, it could turn, but it's hard to say. That's the key for me. Oh, it's Labour Day, is it? Okay, yeah, of course they did. So bounce, bounce, bounce. If you get a strong bull bar here, triple test, it could go higher. it's really hard to say at the moment. If you like that channel, we've already had a break in new low, which means it could go up. Gotcha. Yeah. I haven't checked my emails this morning. Take profit trader as well, did they? Yeah. Here we come. Are we coming down now? There we go. So we're bouncing off that bar there. I'll be surprised if it doesn't drop below it. So that one did hold. I would have gone for 3 points there. Still wouldn't have got it, but that's where it would have to get to. But to be honest with it, it's too close to the open for me. Well, actually, it was an hour ago, to be honest with you, so it wasn't. But my bar would have to get down there. If it does get below there, I think it's got a good chance of getting down, but we'll see. If we can get below this bar here, it should come down a little bit easier. One more tick. It's bound to. There we go. So it has ticked below there. So I think it'll, let's see, maybe a bit easier now. Having said that, there may be a leg and a leg. Failed breakout of this range. We've got a breakout here which failed. Breakout, this may fail. Still a bit early to tell, really. Strong move up. We got 2 legs up, 2 legs back. Still can't really trade this at the moment. It may fail a little bit and then go back down, but okay, here we go. There we come. So, to be honest with you, if I just look at this picture, these 2 legs up look beautiful, followed by a really big, strong bearish bar. For me, there's enough sellers there to push this down. Now, how far it comes down is a different story. Kind of never really know that, but is it going to test the lows or is it just going to clear out some of this liquidity? Not only that, if you look at this here, there was a nice second entry short there, which worked really quickly. 2 legs up, little bit of a pullback, 2 smaller legs up, and then straight down. UM. Okay, there's a first entry there. Possible triple test. Like a short, a second entry short, really. Let me a second. Hey Matt, how you doing? Sorry Matt, I didn't see you there. So 2 legs up clearly worked. Little Hammer, how you doing, mate? How you doing? Okay, so we've broken the lows by a tick, so that's kind of what I expected. So I've got 2 scenarios here: channel with a break, 2 pushes to a new low. Disco, how you doing, bud? So we got an overshoot here. 2 legs down and an overshoot. Amazing music. We're sorry. It's my mistake. I'm just watching a funeral, that's all. Don't know how to kill the music. Sorry, my mistake. It's alright, it's a guy I used to know. They're doing it online so you can watch the funeral, so sorry. Sorry about that. I've just turned this. I didn't realise there was sound to it, to be fair. This is a guy I used to know a long time ago, but I haven't been feeling well lately, so I didn't go. But they're doing it so you could watch it online, so I've just got it in the background. It's all right, bud. It's okay. I'm not, because I haven't long been out of hospital. I've been feeling rough lately, and I just kind of wasn't up to it really. But they've put a link on it so you can watch it. I didn't realise there was volume. I didn't even consider it, but I just noticed it down the bottom, so I've just killed it off. He's a bit older than me. He's about 10 years older than me, but it's just a guy I used to know. from when I was 18. Always fit and active. He had a knee surgery about 7 or 8 years ago and had a blood clot and lost his eyesight. And he just had ill health since then on. So it's a sad story, really. It happens, unfortunately. But they provided a link to it from the crematorium so you can watch it. Yeah, I know. It's just one of those things, isn't it? We all know there's risks with surgeries, but tend to never hear of anybody really having any issues. But unfortunately, he did, which was terribly sad. So I did consider going, but I've had these few health issues myself. Nothing serious, but I'm just sleeping quite a bit at the moment. It's just taken my body a while just to fight this infection, so I'm sleeping a little bit at the moment, and I just didn't feel up to it. So we got this link. We certainly do, yeah. I got to say, I used to worry about getting kind of old and dying and stuff, but I used to be a bit of a worry and a stressor. But I've got to say, when I went into emergency room a week ago with this headache and neck ache, and they told me that they thought it might either be a brain bleed or meningitis. Ordinarily I thought I'd have been stressing and panic, but I was actually perfectly okay. At that time, dying didn't concern me. Getting rid of the pain did. But it just goes to show, 1 minute you can be cruising through life with no issues. Like me, I've never ever had any health issues. I mean, this is not sort of age. I'm 55 now, 56 now. It's not age related thing. It's just one of those things. Gallbladder, it happens. There is a failure here with a possible overshoot. We've got news coming up in about 6 or 7 minutes, so I'm going to leave this, but there is a failure there, but it's a little bit stacked with a doji, so it's hard to say, and there's not much room to the highs really. So you kidney, to be fair, touch wood, the only medication I take is an inhaler. I've got mild asthma, and I take a omeprazole just for acid reflux, like heartburn. I've had that for years. Apart from that, I don't take a thing. So it's, and then all of a sudden I had this gallbladder stuff, but it's gallbladder, kidney stones, gallstones. We get them, throughout life. I've known people half my age with them. So it's just one of those things, but I had no idea what it was. I was just getting more and more painful, and I had pain for 18 hours once. I thought it was bloating or something. I don't tend to like going to the doctor or hospitals. I just tend to, they're busy and I stay away, but this one came with a temperature, so you tend to think there's an infection or something there. So that's why I ended up going into A&E, and I was in for 4 days. I think I came out on the Monday. They asked me if I could stay until Friday for an operation, and I didn't want to, but they did tell me there was a chance, because my blood was quite good, that I would get bumped for someone more serious. So I thought, I'm not sitting in a hospital bed for a week, bored out my arse. I got stuff to do. So I came out, and touch wood, I've been okay. My stomach's been okay, but I had intravenous antibiotics for quite a while, so that got hold of the infection. And obviously once the infection goes, the inflammation goes down. So we've got news coming up. Inflammation goes down, and you're kind of temporarily over the worst of it. I mean, the trouble is with gallstones is they don't go away. They'll eventually come back again, and I'll go through the same thing. So the simple thing is to just take it out. You can live perfectly fine. In fact, they say your life expectancy goes up because you've got to eat a little bit healthier. So I'm going to be having that done in, I'm guessing, 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah, I forgot myself, to be fair, mate. That's why I have this app. It does this big flashy thing, so I can't miss it. But I used to write high impact news there, but the trouble is when you're focused on price, you're glued to it. And sometimes, even though it was up here in big red lettering, I used to forget. So as this is coming back down, I'm guessing there may be a slightly wider channel. It fits there quite nice, and also on that midline, not terrible. So maybe there is kind of a two-tiered channel there. But we've got news coming up in about 3 minutes. Yeah, it's useful, that. I mean, I can't hear it because I have my volume on my speakers switched off because the microphone's on, but I have got a pair of these things which I can slot in my ear, and I should do it really, put it into my mic and then I can hear stuff. I got these things so I can just stick them in like that and just plug it in, but I just don't like stuff dangling around my neck. I don't need to hear it. To be fair, when it flashes up, you'll see it in red in about a minute. It's quite obvious. You can't miss it. So measured move is down there. We're a couple of ticks off it, really. In fact, that can go up a fraction. So, news in about 40 seconds. So, if you are in a trade now, I'd be panicking. You just never know what medium impact's going to. Medium impact, and up until about 8 or 10 months ago, I never used to pay any attention to it, but all of a sudden, one day, we had a massive spike of about 30 points. And ever since that day, medium impact news is started to play a big part. I don't quite know what the change was, why all of a sudden it started to do it, but okay, so write down that measured move. So a little bit of a drop, nothing major. A little bit of a spike, but I don't think it was a huge bar. 6.5 points. So not massive. It can be quite alarming sometimes. So measured moves played out. Okay, measured move played up, and 3 rather large bars totaling about 10 points. Nothing you can do about this one really, because that's one leg up. There may be a leg with a slight overshoot, but I wouldn't trust that just at the moment. What made you do the measured move? Move started with where you did and not from the high. I did it from the highs of the day here. So this first moved down with that correction, and then from the top of the correction down here, and it went down. You could see, obviously, that's where it had that. You can see the reaction. I mean, you're probably going to get reaction there anyway, being at the bottom of the channel. But you know, usually at a measured move, you get some sort of reaction. I mean, it could just continue down. It might just blister straight through it, and that's it. But no. Just a day. I mean, if you watch Mac or you listen to Mac, you'll never hear him mention what happened yesterday, where it finished. He's not interested. All he's interested is what's happening from today. I pay attention to it from time to time, just in, you know, if it's obvious something fits. But no, I mean, usually I'm looking for 2 moves. There's one move with the correction, and there's the second move down there. But you can see first bar broke through it, a tick came back, second bar bounced off it. But yeah, just you kind of just get used to, you know, seeing how it works and how it moves. The trouble is with trading, there's a lot of grey area. It's not black and white. So yeah, I mean, what I mean is you'll never see him do a larger channel from yesterday. You'll never see him do something like that and incorporate it with today. He may talk about how high it got or whatever, but he never bases his trades on what happened to the chart yesterday. That's kind of what I meant. He might talk about where it finished or whether we got trades, but you know, a lot of times, you know, sometimes it's obvious that there is something larger. So on the odd occasion, price may still kind of fit there. And I think it's good to be, I mean, put it this way, if you were trading an hourly chart, you wouldn't be just trading today. You probably only have about 9 bloody bars, which is useless. You know, you would incorporate the last few days, maybe a week, whatever, depends on what time frame. But you know, for this sort of exercise, he doesn't really pay attention. What happened yesterday doesn't affect his decision-making process today. So we had the measured leg, pull back, and just slice straight through it. As I say, sometimes it does. It depends if it's still bearish. So I'm just going to ditch that now. But so we're out the bottom again. Now what I do is pay attention. Sometimes it'll clear areas down here. If there's relatively bunch of bounces here, we had a bounce there, we pushed straight through it, pushed straight back up and bounced. That I'm guessing was that was to do with the Israeli attack on Syria, I believe. But then we pushed up, had 2 legs down and bounced off it here. So this here is an area to pay attention to. It may bounce here. I certainly wouldn't base a trade on here unless it looked right. But what I will say is we've had an overshoot. I believe the previous high is at the high is the start of a leg. Yeah, so well, it depends how you look at it. I I wouldn't mark it there because we've got a little channel here. I would mark it there personally, and I would do that. And if you look right, you can see we had a reaction to it. So most people don't do it the same way as me, I think. But that's what I do. You kind of just get used to seeing other people's charts and the general picture. But that's what I would do it. I mean, it's irrelevant now anyway. We're generally through that, but this thing's tanking, isn't it? We've just dropped out, what, 5, 10 points, 8 points out the bottom. Yeah, I haven't done it from the open. The open's this bar here. I've just done it from the highs of the day because to me, that is one move down. It started there and then went steeper. But that to me is all one move down because ever since there, it came down and down and down and down. And then we had that two-legged correction. And that high, the top of that correction, it looked much better on here. I was very tempted to take a trade. That, I expected that to hold. That's a strong position, that is. And although it went sideways, it eventually gave way. So that's how I would do it. So we've had a drop out the bottom. We've also now got a channel. So I would put that like that. And like that, that kind of fits kind of nice. Okay, I don't know what is going on here at the moment. There could be something larger. It's certainly a possibility. What I'm going to do is just put some colour in that. Probably a bit too dark, that 100. That's better. So there may be something like that. There's certainly something like that. Tough on that. Ah, fantastic. I've just looked on the daily chart update. Dan's got the same thing, so that's good news. So channel down with a break, 2 pushes to a new low. Just no setup here, really. Nothing there. It's 2 attempts to push higher. It hasn't triggered anyway. I'm just not a massive fan just at the moment. It's hard to know. Trouble is, we're so far down, aren't we? never triggered, unfortunately. It did there, but I'm just a bit unsure at the moment. What's going on down here? It does look like a larger channel. Trouble is, you don't know if we're going to get back to here. Are we going to push down to the lows? It's a bit hard to know what to do. We've got a channel down here with a break to pushes to a new low, so I have to pause trading just at the moment. You don't know whether it's going to try and push up and test the top of this larger channel, if it is in the larger channel, or you don't know whether it's just going to continue down. Money go bye-bye. I like the name. Yeah, it's not too bad, actually. Over the last 4 years, I've more or less doubled what I've earned every previous. So, all right, I think I was up 33,000 for the first 5 months of the year. Last couple of months have been a bit dry, but I've got accounts growing nice. So hopefully in the next month, 6 weeks, I should be looking at 10 to 15,000 again. So yeah, I'm okay at the moment. I'm not breaking records, but I've doubled, at least doubled what I've made every year over the last 3 years. First year I did nothing, as you can probably guess. But yeah, it's okay. I'm in an okay place at the moment. Using one prop firm, one account. I'm using 2 prop firms at the moment. I got 5 accounts with, thanks mate. I got 5 accounts with Apex and 5 accounts with Traderify. So I got 10 accounts on the go. The good thing is my target is to a trade of $150. You got 10 accounts, it's $1,500. You know, so you don't need to earn a lot, to be honest with you. You don't need a lot of trades. I'm quite strict in my trade choice. But there you go. Speedy, how you doing, bud? But yeah, I use 2. So what is going on here? Chop, 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 chop. We got a channel with a leg. If we get a bearish bar up here, I don't think that's a bad short. Kind of broke above this. It depends, hard to say. Still can't sign into Rhythmic, mate, for some reason. But what I do after a trade, if you look on my phone, what I can do is, where is it? I got the app. So as soon as the trade closes, I quickly go into the app, and I can see if there's any trades still left over. And then on with my 5 Traderify accounts that are there, I can just close them manually if there is. It's very rare it happens. I think it's only happened to me twice in quite a few years, so it is rare. But you need the option, really. Let's have a look. Channel break. What is going on here? Have a little look. I could tweak this a little bit for that to fit. But I gotta wait for something a bit lower. It may work, but it's a bit too risky, to be fair. I've had to do a little bit of manoeuvring there, so I'm just going to sit tight here because you never quite know. Oh, it did work. See how everybody else is doing. Thought that was a lower high, then it's not. It's still going to work. I think there's liquidity down here. You can see it there. You got no data. I had that yesterday. It just was blank for some reason. I restarted it a couple of times and eventually it came back. I didn't even have, I had nothing up here. Even that or that, I had nothing. It was completely white. I don't know, maybe. It might be that. I mean, if you like your 250 and 300k accounts, it's a fantastic offer, isn't it? I've got to say. Trouble is, they take that long to pass. Loading very hard. Yeah, I mean, it's the best sale they've ever had, to be honest with you. So I'm not surprised. Well, they've had the 90% off and the $85. They had that maybe 8-10 months a year ago, something like that. But they've never had it with the $250,000, $300,000 PA fees at $30 odd, whatever they are, $35, $37 or something. But yeah, I'm not surprised. They're busy. Oh, excuse me. Just wondering if we're having a penguin style 2 legs up here. Oh. Okay, channel break new high. See what happens here. See if we get a reaction here. Looks like 2 legs up to me. Just going to get an order ready. Interesting. My only slight concern, channel break new high, is we didn't quite get that measured move and we've only had 1 push up. Sometimes we'll have 2, so that's the reason. If that was bang on that measured move, I'd take that short, but I'm just going to sit tight. That's unless we get... The trouble is, we got a lot of short orders up here. I can see these sell orders sat here at 75, which is right at that measured move, so it may push that little bit higher. So hence I'm just sitting tight. May not make a difference. A lot of times when we have a channel break, we'll get 2 pushes to a new high, so that's the reason why I'm just sitting tight. It may work, but with these sell orders up there, it may push up higher, stop that out, pick up these sell orders and then drop. Even a lower high here at the moment, I'm just sitting tight, I think. Penguin style trade, but what he does, he either drops his order in here, puts his stop up here, or he waits for it to push below that EMA, indicating now we're heading to the downside. It's very tempting, that, the lower high, but I'm just going to be a little patient because sometimes when we have a break, we'll have 2 pushes to a new high. So up to that measured move, there is a space now. It may work. It doesn't bother me. I'm not bothered either way. But I've got to be patient, wait for it to come to me. I mean, that, not only that, it's a fair sized channel down there, so I'd expect more than a small break. So I've just got to give this space. You think there's going to be stops there and there. I know for a fact there's orders sat at 75. So my gut feeling is you need to just hold on that little bit more. Oh, you also have Apex Bookmap Stream second one. It's not an Apex one. It's just one that's constantly playing on it's on YouTube. If you just click Bookmap Live ES, it's just playing live. You can see the live thing down here. And I'm just watching it just to see where these passive orders are. And you can see them at 75 there, which is right at that measured move. So as we know, price moves towards liquidity. Now, there's no guarantees, but while there's sellers sat there, it may just push that. And you can imagine there's a bearish bar and a lower high. If price hits the stops there and there, that'll give it that little bit of momentum and it'll likely hit those orders. Then we can maybe think about looking for a short there. But as long as those orders are sat there, there's some sat at 80 as well, which is a bit higher. So, but yeah, that's just, I mean, you can pay for Bookmap, but you don't have to. You can just see it live on YouTube. There's probably a few second delay, but I don't think a few seconds, it makes no difference to me. I can see those orders sat there. So as long as they're still there and not being yanked, price could hit there. So if you took the lower high there, you've got stopped out. If you took that bar there, you'll get stopped out. So if you didn't take that, then you may have likely taken that. So yeah, no, you don't have to. You don't have to at all. There is a few second delay, but it really doesn't make much of a difference. So that's the next one. So a tick higher than that, which we've done now. So channel break, new high. There is 2 legs up there, but as we're not quite at that measured leg now, sometimes it won't hit a full measured leg. So that in itself is not enough. That's why a quick look on Bookmap just to see if there's sell orders. If you watch a guy called, is it Michael Paul? I think his name is. He's sadly not with us. He's an ex-British Royal Marine. He was also a trader for years and he worked with traders. And one of his quotes was, if you, instead of putting your order where you put it where your stop would have been and wait and see what happened. So if I was taking that bar there, that's where my order would have been. So I'd have taken an order there and put a stop up here. So that wouldn't have made me nothing. I'd have lost the trade, but let's just see if my order works. So what he's basically saying is a lot of times we get in premature. We're not patient enough. And instead of doing that, try putting your order where your stop is and see if it makes a difference. But you can kind of guess what he's, where he said it, but you put your order in here, put your stop up here. But I just want it to pick out them orders at 75. It may not get there. There's no guarantees, but as long as they're sat there, I'm not ready to go short yet. It is 2 legs up. The trouble is, I'm not really interested in it until it pushes below that EMA, which is indicating to me then it's likely going to go down. At the moment, price is above that EMA, and you can see that EMA is slowly moving. So we bounced off them orders. So in fact, the orders are a tick above that measured move. But there is orders all around here. So as I say, there's some up at 80 as well. So you never know. The trouble is, if I could adjust this down a fraction and we've already had a break, 2 pushes, we didn't quite make a new low, it could shoot off in that direction. But at the moment, I'm just going to leave that where it is. And the reason I am is, let me just get rid of this.
Order
We've got
canceled.
a touch here, a touch here, a touch here, a touch here. Perfect touches there. Yes, it missed there, but that doesn't matter. And we've got a perfect touch here. So that's just as good as it was before. You can see we're not getting down to the bottom of the channel. And you can see it's actually moving away from that bottom of the channel. There's the bottom of the channel there. Sorry, wrong one. There's the bottom of the channel. And you can see price is moving away. It's not getting down here. It's, in other words, it's losing momentum. So when that happens, most of the time we'll get a break. And there it is. So there is a bearish bar there. I'm not going to get in on that alone. I'm going to wait for a lower high, because the fact is we've had a break at a new high and it's slowly grinding higher. So I'm just not confident enough yet to go short here, because there may have been a small break at an attempt lower. So, but we've got a break of a channel, 2 pushes to a new high. So it wouldn't be the worst trade in the world, but it's not one I'm interested in just at the moment. Okay, so it did come back to the EMA. We need to get below there, really. Looks like a 2-legged pullback before continuing down. Yeah. The key for me is it gets below that EMA. Yeah, but there is orders at 70, so it may come down to there and push up. So yeah, it's worth looking at something like the 10,000 tick chart. Sometimes well, that gets rid of a lot of the noise. I'm still not ready to go short just yet. I mean, at the moment, you can see, in fact, if I can move that down a fraction to there. A little bit more. Okay, so perfect touch, perfect touch, perfect touch. Look what's happened there. We've gone up, across, price couldn't close above there. But we need to get below that EMA, which we are now. So the only unfortunate thing is sometimes when it does get by there and it picks off these, the thing just starts to drop and you don't get an entry. Unfortunately, sometimes you got to let trades just fly by and leave them, but it's kind of what you have to do. Let's keep it on this side as well. So what I'm looking for is this, somewhere along those lines, and then to head down. Just picked off liquidity there and there. As I say, sometimes if traders think that's it, we're testing these lows, it just goes and doesn't get a pullback. But that's what I'm looking for. Ooh, something like that. So we add our 2 legs up, right to the measured move, push below that EMA, but unfortunately it just kept going. We didn't get that pullback. Now there. So we need this 2 leg up kind of job, which doesn't look like we're going to get. I can't see that coming down at that angle right the way to the lows, to be honest with you. So I do expect a pullback at some point. You had a lower high. Yeah, I've not got one on either of mine, to be honest with you. Trouble is, if it's quite clear where price has been and where it's going to go, you can clearly see there's a channel down there, clearly see two legs. Often you don't. Traders just sell it because the picture is playing out quite, as we expect. So we expect to get to these lows. So sometimes traders don't wait for it to get back. They just jump in on it. And that just causes it to continue down with no, significant pullback. Yeah, see, Dan's looking at exactly the same thing as me. He's got two legs. He even took that. Oh, he took that. I left it. Clearly two legs up. It's very tempting. I'll wait for a lower high. We got one. No, we didn't actually. Same level, but he's kind of looking at that. So two legs up and then the push down. So we're all kind of thinking the same thing. It's going to test these lows. But the trouble is, the more traders thinking that, the more chance it's got going down, the more they're going to sell it and not wait for a pullback, which unfortunately just does that. And you don't get what we really need, unfortunately. We play really tight stop losses. I can't afford to buy down here and put my stop up here. So there's bound to be liquidity there. So we're nearly at the lows yet. I won't be surprised if it hits the lows before we even have a pullback. It's just unfortunate. See what I mean? No hint of a pullback at all. See, I did say I wouldn't be surprised if it continues straight down to a new low without having a pullback, and it did just that. That's the trouble. So if it's relatively clear, we've got this leg down two legs. Traders are just selling it. Sometimes it may go down so much they may take profits, which creates a small pullback. They may get back in again, but it's pretty evident where it's going. So sometimes if it's that obvious, it just continues down, and there's no way in, unfortunately. So if you're not brave enough to take these, well, it's definitely a cleared measured leg, but to be safe, I always wait for the high low, but sometimes you just don't get it. What do you do? Okay, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, make a cup of tea, and I'll be back. Okay. So, okay, we've got Max chart. Max is quite different. He's not got the bigger chart, or has he? No, he hasn't. No, he's not got the bigger chart. Doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant now anyway. We've had the break. He may, excuse me, he may change it. Sometimes he does, but he's got this. So 2 legs up, channel break, new low. So let's see what happens here. Maybe there's something larger. So we've cleared Wednesday's lows as well. And I think we reacted down here somewhere, maybe not. So is this going to continue down or is it going to move up? I wonder. Yeah, do you remember when I talked about that bar there? Not quite that measured move, it's a bit early. Thomas Wade's marked it as a second entry short. Now I'm just wondering whether he'll have taken that. At the moment, with that ATR being slightly higher, he'd have gone for 10 ticks there, which means that may not have worked. It only went for 2 points, I think, so it'd be interesting if he does a review later whether he marks it. But sometimes Thomas Wade does get in on a limit order. So he may get in there, but for me, it's too early to get in there because we're not at the measured move. So it'd be interesting to say. Why do I have... okay, if you look, there's a slight difference, isn't there? You can see that red bar there is slightly different from there. So the difference with this is if you click on data series up here, it's like a little fist with a square around it. The differences between these two, I have break end of day deselected and slightly different days loaded. And what that does gives it ever so slight different variation in the bars. So if the context is right for a second entry short on both of them, but one of them doesn't have a great bar, you can take it on the second. In fact, to be honest with you, this second chart on the left has been more profitable than this one. But quite a few people are using them now. I heard it from Taylor maybe a year ago, but I know Marco uses a second chart now. It just gives you a second crack of the whip, so to speak. So let's see if we get higher low here. Because we've had a new low here. So that channel's played out. So that downtrend's played out. The bigger downtrend's played out. So we could potentially look for longs here. See if we can get a higher low. Trouble is we're getting close to highs now. So unless it happens soon, we ain't going to have much room. No room up, unfortunately. That's a shame. So straight up to a new high. So channel with a break straight up to a new high. And unfortunately, now if we were still bearish at the moment, I would consider a short there. Because that type of trade, we see that a lot. Channel break new high, kind of like two legs. But at the moment, as we're down, the bigger channels played out, the smaller channels played out. I'm just pausing, going for shorts just at the moment. Well, look. I'm not a million miles away. Let's have a look. My payout ones are around about the $1,200 to $1,300. So I'm guessing in about 4 weeks, something like that. 4 weeks should get me access to $10,000, and then possibly some from Apex as well. So I'm confident in 2 months. 2 months. 2 months, I should be able to pick up another $20,000. As I say, it might be spread out at 10,000 and 10,000. So I earned $26,000 last year. I'm up to 33 this year. So hopefully I should do double what I did last year. Year before I did 8,000. So if I'm doubling every year, then next year should be hopefully that big 6-figure payout. So fingers crossed. I'm all right with that. See, I was doing really well. I had I think about 10 accounts, and I was getting payments every month out of 7 of them. And once they're at 3,000, I was taking, say, 1,000, and then over the next month I was taking another 1,000 out of each, and so on. And then something happened. I was stressed or angry about something. I can't remember what it was. And I moved my stop once, and price came towards me, and I moved it again. And you know what it's like sometimes when you've moved it once, it comes against you, then you're down 400 or 500 and you're panicking. What do? You either get out or move it again. I moved it again, and I ended up losing all my accounts. So what I've done now, I've implemented something that I can't move my stop. I can only move my stop into profit. So see where it says there, my ATM new lot stop. I have it set to, so I traded one contract. So that's set to 24 ticks, which gives me plenty of room to move it into place. Now, even if I left it there, that would be a $300 loss. So at very worst, if I even refused to bring my stop into where it was, that is how much I'd lose. 2 losses in a day, and I'm out the game anyway. If I hit $500 loss, which I've set in trade of 8. So the maximum I should lose in a day, if the shit hit the fan, if everything went tits up, is $500 per account, which is recoverable. So I've put things in place. It only takes that little moment of weakness once just to move your stop. So instead of taking a $200 or $250 loss, I panicked because I didn't want to lose, and I moved it a bit, and then that 200 turned into 400. What do? Panic, moved it again, and I went from having those accounts and taking a payment every month for 5 months to losing them. So kind of, I went through July where I was blowing a few accounts as well, and now August, I've got these accounts back, and I'm slowly building them up. Once they're at their target, see, the trouble is with prop firms, when you start on 0. So you've got to make money to make money. Now, when you start on 0 and you've got nothing, you've got no profit, sometimes the tendency is to take a risk. What I found when I got to $3,000 in my account, I went into protection mode then. And that's when you can start taking money. And, you know, even if you can take $1,000 out per account per month, you can have up to 30 accounts. 20 with Apex, 5 with Take Profit Trader, 5 with Traderify. In fact, 5 with My Fun and Future. Well, you can have plenty of accounts. So making 20, 30, 35,000 minimum month is not rocket science, but you obviously have to have the confidence and the strength of mind to be able to let your stop do its job and not come back in. So I know it's there and I can sniff it. My biggest monthly payment was $12,000. So every year I'm doubling what I'm making. So you learn how much you spend on trade. My Traderify accounts were $250 each for 5 of them, so $1,250. I bought when they had the 40% off. So the thing is, ordinarily, see, if Apex is normally 140. Now, for every 3 accounts I buy, I probably pass 1. So when they were 80% off, I was probably spending 105 on 3 evaluations and $140 on the PA fee. That's $245, an extra $5, and I'm trading straight away with Traderify. So rather than have all the messing around, the frustration and setting up and going for all the evaluations, that's why I like Traderify. But I wouldn't even entertain Traderify until you can make some money. I know it's attractive if you've got the money to get straight into a funded account, but if you've never made any money out of trading, you're still learning, I'd run a mile from, stick to as cheap as possible. Apex is ideal for that, or even Bullanox. Get them while they're cheap and just learn on them one at a time, 1 a month, 2 a month maximum, and just keep it cheap. But, you know, I wouldn't entertain Traderify if I hadn't made any money. So what is happening here? Are we reversing? Still too early to tell. We've got kind of 2 legs up and another 2 legs up. So this thing could still come down. I got no idea at the moment. Or it may reverse up. Who knows? See, the thing is, if you look at someone like Nutty, he has a lot more views than me, so he makes... I wouldn't be surprised if he's making about $15,000 a month on affiliates. I probably make, at the moment, $400 to $800. It's not a lot at the moment, and he makes a lot of money, so he can afford just to keep topping them up and topping them up. And, you know, if you've got 20, 30 accounts, when you do get to a payment, then obviously it's significantly more, so... So could be a little second entry here. A bit too far, to be honest with you. Yeah, it is, yeah. I mean, some of these influencers are making an absolute fortune. I know what's it showed once, didn't he? What's his name? The gingerhead guy, not the gingerhead guy, the other one. At some days he was making over $20,000 per day in affiliates. I'm not that popular, see, I'm not so much of a YouTuber, really. I'm more of just a trader. That's for the kind of youngsters. Second entry long. No, I mean, depends how you look at this, to be honest with you. Is it going to go up? Probably, but it's 11 ticks. There's no room to the highs, so I'm just staying out of this at the moment. By the count, it's a second entry, but it's not what you would consider two legs, really. But it's one, it hasn't triggered. Two, I'm not interested, not that close to the top. There's no room to the highs. I look for 3 points. You'd get a point because you've got to push through, so I'm not interested in a point. It's not worth the risk for a point. The bar is 3.5 points. I'm not risking 3.5 points to make a point. Now, it may push up even higher, possibly, but yeah, some of these influences are making an absolute stack of money. I mean, good luck to them. I just never made videos, really. It's never really interested me. I'm not young and good looking like a lot of these influencers. I'd like to see this drop and then push up bullish. Yeah, and sell courses. Trouble is, I don't know how you can sell courses unless you're a seasoned trader. You know, it's a fact that there are traders out there. Now, we all know how hard trading is. It's a fact traders out there are selling courses teaching you how to trade. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a quick example. Now, this is a fact, Now, you get emails from new prop firms. I'll show you one of them. I'm not going to, I don't entertain them. I'm not interested. Okay, let me have a look. So, I've got an email from something called, let me have a look. Is that the one? No, that's not it. I do get emails all the time. Collaboration with Quick Trade Ninja or something, that is. There was one I got the other day. Where is it? I might have deleted it. Let's have a look. Right, this is listen to this. This is an interest. I can't find it now. I got an email from a prop firm, never heard of them before, and they said to me, would you be interested in being an affiliate, collaboration? You'll get X amount of commissions. You'll also get unlimited PA accounts, which take you straight through to live, but you obviously can't withdraw from them, but just for your viewers. So what they're saying is, as an influencer, you can look like you've got a lot of payouts and a lot of accounts. That to me is absolute bullshit. I can't sit here and trade a load of PA accounts that aren't real and pretend to you I'm making a ton of money so you'll go and spend your money. Can't do it. I didn't even answer back. If I think it's bullshit, I won't even do him the courtesy of an email back. But they basically said to me, we'll give you unlimited PA accounts, but obviously you can't withdraw from them, but just for your viewers. In other words, look at me. I've got 20 accounts from XYZ prop firm. If I'm trading them, I'm trading them. There's no risk. So chances are you're probably going to look like you're making money. And that's going to encourage you lot to think, oh, let's use this prop firm. He's getting paid. So in other words, it's a big bullshit con. You know, I know there's money to be made out there, but I'm not making money ripping people off. I want to sleep at night. You know what I mean? And yeah, I get money from affiliates, but one, it doesn't cost you guys anything. But I'm not sitting here pretending I've got real accounts and I'm making money when I'm not, which is why every time I've got a payment, I show you the email from Apex, I show you the email from Plane and the email that's going into my Revolut account. But it just goes to show, I wouldn't be surprised if loads of prop firms give away, if someone, you think about it, if someone can't trade and a company goes, I'll give you 20 accounts, trade them as a sim, but make it look like it's a real account. Chances are they're going to look like they're making money. But the trouble is, if they get enough viewers, they're going to make that much money on affiliates. It's irrelevant whether they make money, they're not making money from trading. It's bullshit. It is. It's a con. It's just, I can't do it. You know, don't get me wrong. I like making money. Of course I do. Do I want to make a lot of money? Absolutely. But I'm not doing it pretending I'm this when I'm not. So I don't agree with it. So I've only ever had a couple of those, to be fair, from newer prop firms. But yeah, have these, pretend to your viewers like you're making real money when you're not, just to get them to, it's bullshit, that is. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy making money from affiliates. I don't make a lot. I'm probably up to $400 this month, so it's not much, but it doesn't cost you guys anything. You guys know these prop firms. The only ones I use are Apex, Take Profit Trader, and Traderify. They're companies that have been around for a fair amount of time. They're genuine prop firms. They're not brand new startups and wannabes. And even if one of those big companies said to me, I'll give you pretend accounts, you pretend like you're trading and making money, they'll spend money on affiliates and you'll make money from affiliates. I'm not interested. It's just not right. I want to make money from, I want to be a trader. You know, I want to know that in 5 years' time, when I may not want to sit in front of a screen, you know, I might move abroad. You just don't know. I want to be able to know that I can trade and not rely on affiliates. The trouble is, if you look at who's the Australian guy or the New Zealand guy, Cami Capital, nice guy. He was making a lot of money, I believe, as an affiliate from Topstep. And he was making a lot of money from them. He came out and said he was making quite a fair few thousand a month. So he was making a really nice living. Well, when you're making that money, it's kind of irrelevant that he may not be trading for real. But the trouble is, they pull the plug on him. They stop doing it. You know, you think about a lot of these prop firms are paying millions and millions and millions to these affiliates. Yeah. Now, when a company's been around for a long time, they've got roots, they're well known around, it's a good saving for a company to go, okay, the traders know we're out there now, we don't need you, we don't need to be paying 20 million a month to affiliates, we'll scrap the affiliate program. And then if you've been living off affiliates and you can't trade, you're screwed. So if you're here to learn to trade, you have to learn to trade. There's no other way. Otherwise, you're a ticking bomb. It's a matter of time before something changes. Company goes bust, you're screwed. Company decides to scrub the program, you're screwed. And I ain't sitting here ripping people off. I'm not lying to people saying I'm trading real accounts when I'm trading free pretend accounts. Not interested. I want to be able to sleep at night. So there you go, another little rant. So we got 2 legs down. If we can get a higher low here, that might be a bad option. I don't think there's a wider channel there. Trouble is, there may be a channel there with a break, but it's a bit hard to say, really. But yeah, I mean, what's his name? Who's the main guy that makes a lot of money? He's said straight away he makes more money from affiliates than he does trading. There is a higher low there. To be honest with you, though, I'm just not a fan of it. Didn't get close enough, and not only that, there's no room to the highs. Now, it may go a lot higher, but look at that. There's not even a point, and it ain't finished yet. Channel break, new low. We can see prices holding there. Push up, higher low. It may work, but I'm not taking it. I mean, look at that. We're at the eyes already. There's nothing left. We've actually had a break and a new high in one, so you can't really take that unless you think this price might go further on. It could well do. And look at that. There is a possibility we may be ranging a little here. So we could have something like that. It's actually broke a bit higher than that, and I don't like it when it does that, but it could still be two potential legs down or two potential attempts to go lower. Yeah, I do, mate. Yeah, I do. You can see them all here. They're all together. PA accounts and watch it accounts. That's just an evaluation I passed. Yeah, I mean, really. The good thing is I'm only trading one contract and I'm risking on average $150. So that's the beauty of having multiple accounts. So you're risking a small amount, but over a multiple. So you've got multiple different pies that you're taking the figure, your finger out of, instead of having one. Instead of having kind of one lump sum. That's the beauty about having multiple accounts, is you can trade them all at the same time and make a little bit. I've got sort of 10 of them. If I can make $150 out of one, I make $150 out of the rest. So one little trade on one contract, and there's a potential $1,500 there. But my Apex accounts at the moment, I'm trading two contracts because there's a little bit more of a buffer on those. So that's what I'm going to do. But I am very cautious about my trades. I'm very selective about them. So there's nothing you can do there. You're at the midline and it's not finished yet. Yeah, okay. So if I can get a decent setup here, might not be a bad option. Okay, we broke below there. See what happens here. I'm guessing maybe two attempts to push low. It may continue up. It's hard to say at the moment. Could possibly
Order
be a triple
submitted.
test. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Is that? Excuse my language. Sorry
Order
about the
canceled.
language. Something just popped up on my screen. So we have had a break and a new high buy tick, so it's hard to know what it is going to do now, but I'm going to say the orders have faded. What time is it? Is it kind of lunchtime, whatever? Orders are dying out. There's nothing very large in the way of orders. It's sometimes when you get some news coming up, you'll see it all start to go darker here. It's all red and multicoloured here, and then it starts to go darker. That indicates people are dropping positions waiting for the news, but we got no news coming up that I'm aware of. But all these orders are reducing quite rapidly, so it's hard to say. So the only way to go along here, really, in my opinion, is to wait for a higher low. Trouble is, sometimes you don't get it. It is 2 legs back. You could say a little range with a breakout. Okay, I think I'm done for the week. I've done 2 hours on stream and an hour before, so I'm going to go and have a bite to eat. I may come back and have a look at an hour later. I'll see how I feel, but not the easiest of days, but there you go. So, look, I'll leave you to it. Don't forget Monday, no trading Monday. It's a holiday, so I'll be back on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll catch up and have a chat on Tuesday. Bye for now.